Uh-oh. Oh. What? Hey, wait. So that was weird. All right. You know what else is weird? I messed up the recording again. I know. I keep doing this and I just am still learning how all of this works, guys. I'll get it together eventually. But for now, I have all of the video and the audio is acceptable in some places but really really terrible in others. So it's just it is I, Boo Boo the Fool. On a bright side, not a whole lot of action happened, so there really isn't a whole lot of that to show. But quite a bit did get built, and I just really don't have good usable footage of that. So I'm going to show you guys the time lapse of what got built. So it's probably going to be a pretty short episode. I'm not, at this point of recording, not sure how long it's actually going to be, but we'll see. We'll be hopeful, guys. Hope. One day I'll get it together. One day I will, guys. I promise. It's certainly not today, but that's fine. So it'll be fun to see. And then at the very end, I've got some really exciting news, guys, that I'm super duper excited to share with you. So hang tight till then, because me and Parsnip, we got some good news for y'all. So we're working on just under a quarter of the remaining area of this caldera, and we started with a massive amount of terraforming. You get to see an hour and 45 minutes of terraforming in just a handful of seconds. I started by filling in some cave holes and building up the terrain in some places. Then it was a lot of carving away of the terrain to make up for upcoming builds and pathways. You'll notice that I started to incorporate a lot more moss than I have in the past in this build. I realize I've kinda overkilled the area with flowers to a point where it almost looks like ugly and too crowded, so I want to kind of pull back on that a little bit. Unfortunately, there's so much flora already established in the area that I had to blast it with flowers again, otherwise it would look out of place. I think going forward, once we're out of the caldera, I'm gonna chill out on the flower usage. But here you can see the new pathway I built up on the left, and I really do love how mossy and green this area is looking. Building hobbit holes and the surrounding areas is always so fun for me. I'm not great at interiors, so I tend to put them off until the last minute, but I really like doing these more nature-intensive areas. Adding the flowers, even if they're a bit much, and changing up the terrain palette is just so fun to me. The hobbit holes themselves are just so charming and silly, and my goal is to have them hopefully lead the viewer's eye around the village. I did have to add some pathing off to the side for future builds, so not much is happening over here, but the path is cute. More pathway decorating. This time it's to the stair path that leads up and out of the caldera. I've got some super fun plans for this area. I like the way this little area came out. I just love a charming, windy little road. I'm not actually sure if you can see it with how fast it's going, but I got blown up twice while working on this wheat field at the top, and maybe it's a good thing I had an audio problem because the words that left my mouth were not PG. I do really like how this little house came out. I tried out a color palette I'd not used before, and I think it came out really well. Here's that flower vomit that I mentioned earlier. I still think it came out cute, even if it's super overdone. Okay, so a lot happened in this time lapse because a lot of houses get built pretty quickly, but I'm so happy with how each one came out. They all feel very unique and individual, which was my goal for these ones, especially the three that are close together. You can really get lost in making similar designs and overdo it to the point that things just kind of look cookie cutter and the same, which works great in some builds. But in my opinion, hobbit homes should be quirky and unique and weird to reflect the weird, quirky, unique people that live inside them. And there we have it, guys! A whole new section of the Hobbit Village, and we are so close to the top of the caldera now. Not gonna lie, I am stoked to start building stuff other than hobbit holes. And you know how I said at the beginning of the video that I had something I wanted to let you guys know? Well, that thing is still kind of a secret. But I promise it's coming out soon, like in like a week from the time this video goes up. Like keep your eyes open. There will be something new and exciting, and I have been planning it for maybe about a month-ish now, and I'm just really super excited to show you guys. I think it'll be really fun, and it involves other people and other creators, and that's all I can tell you right now, but I promise it's gonna be good. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for today's episode. I hope you had a good time, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like, comment, or subscribe. It helps me a whole lot when you do. And you know what? Why don't we wrap up this episode with some shaders? I think it'll look really nice.